What do I think is a good banking setup for expats living in Asia? And this could be living anywhere really. I think it is a good idea to have a bank account in the country where you live or where you spend a lot of your time, just for the ease of daily transactions, having access to money without having to pay fees every time you get money out or spend your money. You don't necessarily want to park all of your money in this bank account. You only need enough so that you can cover your daily living expenses and then, maybe some emergency funds on the side. I also think it is a good idea to have at least one bank account in the country where you came from. It could be useful for parking capital in a country that you trust and that you are familiar with. Yes, it could potentially affect your residency status, but it doesn't have to. And all this stuff can be negotiated. It's all about looking at the rules where you live, where you used to live, the double taxation agreements that sort of govern residency around that. We can help you work through all this stuff if you are concerned about that. I'd also want to have an account in a good international location, a country that is used to and familiar and comfortable with dealing with expats. The two best places for this are Singapore and Hong Kong. This gives you the opportunity to pay out dividends from a company that you might have, or some offshore investments you might have, somewhere to park cash in a country that is not going to raise questions about residency status in other countries. Some people prefer Singapore for obvious reasons. Hong Kong is still a very good jurisdiction. There are no capital controls in Hong Kong, so you don't need to worry about that, but it is also part of China and there are capital controls in China. So who knows what will happen in the future, but I think China is committed to keeping Hong Kong open as an international financial center. It's worth a lot to them. It's their gateway to the world. It's the world's gateway to China. So having Hong Kong as an international and open business center does serve a purpose for China. I don't know if I would personally put $1 million there. I'd rather put that in Singapore, but I'm comfortable with smaller amounts of money, but everyone will have a different view on that. Depending on where you have your investments, you're going to want to, and you may be even required to have a bank account there. Again, we're looking at Hong Kong and Singapore here, especially when it comes to brokerage accounts. This is where your dividends are going to be paid to. This is when you sell a parcel of shares where the funds are going to be settled into. But also if you own property somewhere like Thailand, a lot of people own condos in Thailand. If you're renting that out, you're going to want to have a bank account there as well. So wherever you have your investments, it is handy to have a bank account to service these investments. Now, I would also set up a neobank such as Wise. Wise is very good for international transfers, low-cost international transfers. It's a lot cheaper than using the big banks, particularly for smaller amounts. And they also have pretty good foreign exchange fees. It's a really good way for moving money around. And then you can move it, from a bricks and mortar bank in Australia to your Wise account to your bricks and mortar bank in Thailand or in Hong Kong. It is a very fast and effective way from getting money from one country to the other. There are a few common denominators of certain banks, certain countries that work well in certain situations, but it has to be said as well that everyone has a different situation. Everyone has businesses in different parts of the world. People are living in different countries. They've come from different countries. They're tax residents in different countries. So you just have to weigh all of that up. Where do you live? Where are you a tax resident? Where are you invested? And also, are you trying to employ a certain tax minimization strategy that leans on where you do your banking? For example, Thailand, that has a taxation system that is based around remitted income. But all of this is not worth much to you if your banking setup doesn't function for you. You need to be able to use it when you want to use it without complications. Having a card that works, having a bank account, being able to send money without having to fill out a bunch of forms, it needs to be functional for you. Now, if you're interested in talking to someone about setting up a good international banking plan, looking at all of the reasons for doing it that we have been discussing in this video, we can help you to put the plan in place to lower taxation, to service investments, to take care of any potential residency issues, and just safeguard your general financial situation while living abroad. To do that, head over to offshoreinasia.com. You can send us an email there. You can also book in a consulting call if you want to get right down into it. Thank you for watching. Happy banking, and we'll see you later.